What's the dumbest thing your significant other has said or done? On the phone trying to describe where we are to her parents. We are behind the car that's in front of us. I lost it. In high school, my girlfriend said, "Do you know what I just realized? There's no state that starts with the letter F. We went to school in Florida." My sister did something similar. We were playing categories, and one of the categories was US states. She rolled a P halfway through the round. My sister shouts, "That's not fair. There's not even any states that start with P. We live in Pennsylvania." We were driving one day and were stopped at a red light. She's looking at a sign and the following exchange occurs. What a dumb name for a street. Me. What street? Bone Marrow Drive? Who would name a street Bone Marrow Drive? It was a sign for a local bone marrow drive that would be taking place, not the name of the street. We still talk about it to this day. Road work ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does. Nothing too dumb. I have a fan with different settings labeled LMH for how fast the fan spins. She was looking at it and told me she set the fan to large, massive, humongous, large, medium, holy fuck. Tried to make baked potatoes in the microwave for the first time. Wrapped them in tinfoil. Came to ask me why there were lightning bolts in the microwave and why was it getting very hot. Honey, I think I cooked Thor's potatoes. What do we do? I think he is mad. When my now ex-wife first started dating, I had made a roast for dinner in my slow cooker. After dinner, she was helping me clean up. I come into the kitchen and she had the entire crock pot submerged in the sink. I asked what she was doing and she said she was cleaning it. She didn't know that the ceramic inside could be removed to clean. After I explained that to her, she said, "I guess I shouldn't have put the whole thing underwater." I said, "No," and reached over and unplugged it. I have no idea how she didn't get electrocuted. I work at a school and received a candle as a gift one year for Christmas from a parent. They were known to be hippies and set in their lifestyle. My boyfriend picked it up and said, "Wow, what hipsters. They even got a candle made in Mexico. It says soy candle." The candle was made from soy wax. It did not say "I'm candle" in Spanish, much to his disappointment and my delight. Hola milk, soy dad. My wife couldn't think of the word wood and told me to clean up my tree chunks. Don't you hate it when you get morning tree chunks? Well, it couldn't be any worse than the morning logs. My husband and I were at Canadian Tire and they had tiny examples of tents. Basically looked like they were made for Barbie dolls and the pricing for each underneath. He turned to me shocked and asked, "Why are these so expensive for such tiny tents?" I almost died laughing. What is this? A center for ants? How do you expect the children to camp when they can't even fit inside the tent? My boyfriend thought that a sushi roll was a cross section of a raw eel. Amazing how nature do that. My eldest child was born in December 2004. This was the year that we found out that London had won the bid for the 2012 Olympics. It was announced that children born on the 20th of December would get free entry to the Olympics. But what if they are not any good at sports? I had to gently explain that it was free entry to watch the Olympics. My boyfriend, as we were looking up at the beautiful night sky, "Wow, there's so much we don't know about the universe. Like where the stars go during the day. Are they still there? If not, where do they go?" He was dead serious. I had to explain to a friend that the sun is a star. I could tell that he didn't quite understand, so I made him watch this little bit of Father Ted. That did the trick perfectly. This is the same friend of mine who, when he needed to cram for an exam at university, decided he'd drink coffee and do an all-nighter because that's what they do on TV. He'd never made coffee before and made a cup of coffee using an entire jar of instant coffee. He spent the night puking and missed the exam. I love my husband, but I have watched him empty a vacuum cleaner bag into a wire waste basket. I, on the other hand, am frequently unable to remember common words and have to resort to saying things like "the box you put stuff in to make it cold." She ate cold turkey to try and quit smoking. You're supposed to quit cold turkey, not start it. Everyone knows that. He picked up our friend's keys, thinking one of her keychains was a laser pointer. It was mace. He got a nice spray to the face, and I was sitting right next to him, so I got a lovely dose as well. For the next 30 minutes or so, the entire apartment was coughing and dying and trying to air the place out. Even our friend who was upstairs showering could feel the effects. Still love him though. Update. Boyfriend wants to clarify he thought it was a lighter or air freshener, not a laser. Still doesn't help his case very much. I'll answer for my wife. I had gone to Home Depot to pick up a trailer hitch bolt for my truck. I didn't realize that they had different shaft sizes, and I didn't know which size I needed, so I called my wife and this conversation took place. Me. Are you at the house? Her. Yeah. Why? Me. Can you go out to the driveway and measure the hole in the bumper of my truck? It should be either 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch. There's a pause. Her. Isn't your truck with you? Yes. Yes it was. That was how I had gotten to Home Depot. I forgot. Here I was expecting bystanders to hear one side of an argument between a guy and his wife about the thickness and diameter of his shaft. And now ex. But we were trying to dirty talk and couldn't think of the word clit, so instead he said to leave it. I was laughing so much that we couldn't continue. Poor guy didn't get to use his wiggly stick. As we were driving along the road we saw a horse with its head over a gate. We slowed down. She opens the window and says moo. And now that horse is telling all his friends about the time he was yelled at by a cow as it was driving down the road. For some reason, when she's done watching a video she doesn't pause it or close out of the window, she just shuts her laptop. This has twice resulted in her scandalizing a quiet lecture hall with the sound of porn resuming at full volume. And she gets off on some wacky shit. One time while dating my now wife, we got into a playful pinching fight while I was driving. Probably not a great idea, but we were young. She starts getting frustrated and pinching harder, but my right arm was hooked on her left arm, like when you walk together with your arms hooked in movies. She pinched herself and thought it was me. She pinched so hard she screamed and got mad. Her next reaction was what made me almost crash. She doubled down and did it again harder and screamed even louder. Somehow she didn't realize it was her arm the way we were hooked together. Even though in that position I had no way to touch her. She was getting pissed because I was cracking up. Just remembering her anger then confusion always makes me laugh. As I'm in labor with our daughter, my husband asks, do you want her to have an innie or an outie belly button? Weird question, but whatever. So I tell him I don't mind either way, both are cute. And then he says yeah, but when the doctor asks, which should we pick for her? He thought when they clamp the umbilical cord, parents tell the doctor the type of belly button they prefer. He's really smart, I promise. Oh golly. When my wife gave birth to our oldest daughter, the doctor offered to let me cut the umbilical cord. I told him surely that's your job. I had no idea that was a thing. Threw her engagement ring out the kitchen window during an argument. She still hasn't found it yet. Sounds like the opposite of a keeper. Maybe that was the idea behind engagement rings in the first place. Let's give this person something expensive to try and hold on to for a few months. My favorite memory of my parents is going to some fast food joint. Through the drive-thru, mom is driving and giving our orders to the cashier. Just as she finishes, my dad casually says to go to my mom, and she turns back to the cashier and says to go. 2 seconds of buffering later, and she slaps my dad full on in the chest, who is laughing fucking hysterically. Don't think we've ever let her live that down. I was working the drive-thru and asked if it was for here or to go. There was laughter in the car and the kitchen. My now ex-girlfriend got a Polaroid camera for Christmas. Jokingly one day I said, does it take videos? And she very seriously said, I'm sure it does, but I haven't tried that feature yet. I'm imagining instead of a photo popping out it just starts spitting out frame after frame of movie reel. My deeply intelligent wife lost her car. Like left it in a parking lot and somehow got home on Friday. Monday morning I get a text, where's my car? She's gonna finish her medical degree next year. My girlfriend in college attended my graduation and afterwards says to me, "Man, there were a lot of people with the name Loudy. Each time someone was given their degree, it was announced whether they were graduating cum laude or not. My girlfriend thought America's largest family graduated from university with me that day, the Loudy family, and they all looked unrelated. I'm really flexible, so I don't bruise easily is her most recent gem. I think she might be into you, dude." Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more videos like this. Don't forget to leave your stories in the comments below.